have you been waiting to hear me discuss visualization? That's coming up right after this. Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Mel from Melsdivination. I'm the owner, the operator, and the creator here, and today is Wednesday, so we are doing Witchy Wednesday. On Wednesdays, we do any kind of information that would fall under the umbrella of witchcraft, spirituality, and energetic conversations. On Fridays, we do Flip Through Fridays, where I flip through many of my various divination decks. If you're interested in that kind of content, I highly suggest you check out some of the other videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell because I do occasionally go live without telling you guys. Also check out the community tab if you'd like to have some input on what kind of videos I share. So today we're going to do visualization. And while we do that, sorry, the cat just did something. While we do that, before we really jump into it, I do want to let you guys know I do have my own website. It's melsdivination. I'll link it down. It's in the description box, but I'll also link it right here. And that is a site where you can check me out a little bit more. It's still under progress, but it is operating. You can book sessions with me for tarot or oracle or other kinds of readings, and you can even book coaching sessions with me. So check that out if you're interested. Now, let's get into today's topic because I am short on time, as usual lately, and we're going to talk about visualization. Now, we've talked about all kinds of intro to witchcraft topics. We've talked about grounding and meditation and rooting and centering and all those things, right? But part of magic, part of manifestation, magic and manifestation go kind of hand in hand, the way that my brain puts them together, and we'll talk about that another time. But part of magic and manifestation is visualization. It's a huge component, and that's also a piece of meditation as well. But it's a big component because visualization is what we do with our brains, and I'll define it in just 1 second. But if we can't visualize, and there are some people who can't, and if you can't, this isn't the best video for you because it may just get you frustrated. Some people can't. They try and they try and they try and they just can't. And that is okay. There's nothing wrong with you. Everybody's brain works differently. But the big piece of visualization for me is if I can't picture it in here, then I can't manifest it. I need to be able to see it. So if you struggle with this visualization, a vision board might be good for you, or some kind of concept where it's you can actually create the visual for yourself. We'll talk about vision boards another time. I'm sure you guys have seen stuff about it across the galaxy, but it's not my specialty, but we can talk about it another time. So what is visualization? Visualization, more or less, is basically when you're picturing something in your mind. So it's not right in front of you. It's not here. It's not in the 3D realm. It's not, if I'm picturing a pen, it's not me holding the pen to my eyes. It's in your brain, okay? People would say it's in your third eye, or in your mind's eye is another way that some people will word that. Basically, the easiest way, if I was explaining this to a kid, I would say visualization is like dreaming or daydreaming. You're just not asleep. So it's like you're zoning out. It's typically with people will close their eyes to do this, but it's zoning out, it's tuning out, and it's really creating imagery in your mind rather than in the reality. And often that's just using your imagination. And again, a lot of I'm turning 40 this year, so I'm a millennial. I'm an older millennial. But the younger generations that are coming up are having more and more trouble doing this because their brains are so stimulated all the time with technology that they don't know how to tune out to the world and tune in to themselves. So that is something that is a skill that you can actually develop. it takes a lot of time, understanding, and patience, and I'm not a professional in telling you how exactly to develop your visualization. So it's really just picturing imagery. A great way to do this is to maybe listen to a guided meditation if you're having trouble with that, but it's really just picturing what you want. Picturing a house that you want to purchase, picturing a car, picturing a life with a specific person, or maybe not a specific person, but a specific type of person. For those of you who want to get engaged, picturing your ring, the kind of ring you'd like to get. For those of you that are looking to get pets, picturing what kind of pet you want, what breed, what do they look like, what are their physical characteristics, all kinds of things like that. A job, how does that feel? So basically, visualization, the short version of visualization is you're using all your senses to picture and feel something. So you want to feel what it feels like to hug that pet, or to hug that person, or to receive that ring or that job. You want to be able to feel it, touch it, smell it. What are all the senses that you can picture, you can use in your imagination, okay? For instance, one of my very favorite vacation places is in New Hampshire. And whenever I really need to decompress and come down from work or a stressful situation, I will meditate and picture myself in my specific happy place in New Hampshire, on a certain lake, at a certain cottage, on a certain beach. I'm there. And I can put myself there as if I'm actually there. And that's because, for one, I've actually been there, but because I've worked on my process of visualization. Now, let's say you want to create something. You want to create a business. You want to create a lifestyle. You want to lose weight. You want to do some kind of spell. All of those things, you need to be able to picture it, because that's your first step. Seeing it. What does it look like? If you can't do that, your magic, your manifestation gets stuck. So it doesn't always just have to be in your actual eyes as seeing it. You could write it down, you could sketch it out, you could make lists, like I said, you could do vision boards, but there's an energy behind it because you're creating it in your head as if it's actually real. And that is the first step to really getting into bigger steps of magic. Because if you can't, and we've already talked about grounding and meditation and centering and all that, but and you need to do all those things as well. But if you can't picture it, if you can't feel it in here, the thing you're working on is very likely not going to happen because you're not feeling it. Thoughts in words are very, very important. And if you're constantly, let's say you're extremely overweight and you want to lose weight. Now, I don't have a weight loss spell for you guys. If I did, I'd be nice and skinny. However, if you're trying to be healthier and you just can't see yourself that way, and you keep saying, I'm never going to get there, you're never going to get there. The way to do it is to look back at possibly old pictures of yourself of when you were in a healthier physical state, or possibly taking and this can be a little tricky because by doing this it may hurt your self-esteem more than it helps. So be careful about that, be mindful about that. But you could cut out a picture of yourself, of your head, of your face, and put it on like use a magazine or print it up from the computer and use a magazine clipping or something and put it on somebody's body of how you want to be. Now be gentle with yourself when you do anything that has to do with physical traits. That one's tricky. That one's tough because we have self-image and all sorts of issues around that. That is basically all I wanted to talk about. The importance of visualization. What is visualization? How does it feel? And you typically will feel like you're there. So that's part of the meditation world, in picturing and feeling that. And spending time, if you have a goal. And I also want you to be careful about how many things you're trying to visualize at once, because that's when we get really overwhelmed and our brains short circuit. One thing at a time. So when I was trying to purchase my home, I was picturing that. That was my hyper focus. I was hyper focused on that. When I was trying to buy my car, I was hyper focused on that, okay? So one thing at a time. Don't do it all. Don't do everything. A car, a house, a job, a marriage. Like, don't do that all to yourself at once. Focus on one goal at a time for a while, because by doing that, okay, great, yeah, you want a new car. Okay, great, yeah, you maybe want to move, but you really, really want a job first. And start small and start with what is realistic, but you can also go really big. But understand, if you start really big, so like for me, I would love to be a millionaire. I'm nowhere near being a millionaire. So what are the steps in between now and that? Like what are the next steps? Like I can picture myself being a millionaire, but it's so far away from where I am right now that is actually quite hard to feel. But what about if I had, 7 figures or 6 figures or big figures, bigger figure income? So start in increments and work your way up, okay? That's really all I wanted to say today. This one is short because I do have other things to run off and do. But if you'd like a session with me, definitely check out my website. If you have questions, I do answer my emails. It's melsdivinationreadings@gmail.com. If you have a question about what kind of session to book or for how long to book, that kind of thing, feel free to email me. I likely will get back to you within 48 hours because I am a one-woman show, and sometimes I do get hung up a little bit as far as already preset up situations. I do have an Etsy shop. I am going to be expanding that quite a bit over the next several months, so check that out. And what else did I want to say? Oh! The next things that are happening on the YouTube channel. So I just finished filming. We're at the end of July right now. I just finished getting ready and filming for a tarot spread, a tarot read for the general energy, for the general collective for the month of August. I'm in the process of getting my notes together I actually just happen to have them next to me, using the Magic Vibe Planner and a few other resources that I have for the astrology. Now remember, I'm not an astrologist, but I am practicing to learn, so I'm going to share with you what I have. It's very beginner stuff, so it's not going to be like huge major things, but I'm going to share with you the general energies that are predicted for the month of August. So that's another video I'm going to do. So it's going to be like a new series on the channel of upcoming energies. So upcoming energies for the month by tarot, upcoming energies for the month by astrology, and then we'll do weekly videos, upcoming energy of this week, and I'll include a little bit of the astrology for the week, and then a shorter tarot spread, things like that. So it's going to be a series. I haven't decided what day it's going to be posted. I'm thinking like Sunday or Monday, because that way it's like right at the beginning of the week and you're getting the setup of this week, this is what you can expect. Now, if you like that kind of stuff, please make sure you respond, you comment, you say it, and let me know if it resonates with you. Because if there's not a lot of feedback and not a lot of people loving it, because it is taking a lot of work to get it done, if there's not a lot of people following it or viewing it or giving me feedback, then I may not continue it. So this is a trial to see how it's going to go for the month of August and what the feedback will be around that. I hope that helps you guys. Enjoy your week. I'll see you on Friday, and August is coming. Can you believe the summer's almost over? For those of you in the United States anyway, or the Northern Hemisphere. Okay, I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye.